Digital nomad biscuits. Are you thinking, it's the holidays? What if I sell the house, get out of my lease, buy a van and go do van life? Oh wait, there's these small humans that depend on me. Can you survive van life with kids in tow? No, you can't put them in a separate tow case like a dog crate and pull it behind the van. I know, biscuits. I know how you think. I'm kidding, biscuits. I know there's going to be one Karen out there. What's the male version of a Karen? A Kevin? I don't know. Male version of a Karen. It's going to be like, oh my God, don't joke about that. No one would actually do that, okay? Just joke. Calm down, Karen and Kevin. It's all right. But if any time is going to make you want to pack it all in and say, van life's for me, it's the holidays. Because holy Jesus, there's a lot to buy, there's a lot to spend, there's a lot to clean, there's a lot of relatives to deal with. All the nuts just roll onto your table, and it's really not walnuts, it's generally members of your family. And you're like, well, this is who I'm related to. Is this why I'm staying in the area? Beep, beep. That's my In Theory fan. So I had great fun this year. Sorry if that was really loud. I kind of clapped harder than I meant to. If you're wearing headphones, I apologize for that, biscuits. But this year, I have been trying to figure out what kind of lifestyle is going to work for our family. Do we want to be digital nomads? Do we want to expat? Do we want a van life? Do we want to like be stable and in? And I'm going to let you biscuits on a secret. I don't know that we are the average life family. I feel like maybe we're a family that loves adventure and freedom. We're trying out this whole like normal day-to-day routine, and all of us are kind of like, this just doesn't seem very us. I know society says this should be us. So if you biscuits are struggling with that decision, I thought I would let you in on some of the things we've learned this year after trying out all these different things. So van life with kids, I think you're only going to get along if A, your kids don't fight too much. I know this seems like a simple one. So I only have 2 kids. And I gotta say, they fight like cats and dogs. I mean, I've always heard that kids fight. But I came from a big family. You know, I'm one of 5 kids. My parents were is authoritarian the right way? More like, put the fear of God in you and you'd be terrified and you'd behave if they looked at you because they might beat you. And so, I don't know that we maybe fought as much as my kids do because they feel very safe and secure, unfortunately. Gentle parody for you, huh? And so they feel really secure in just being as argumentative as they want. And I gotta say, that grates on you when you're doing van life. It was an unexpected thing that I didn't think about because, we've been testing out the RV van life for years now, but it had just been with my son, right? And this is the first year we've tested it out with both of them together. And boy, you really gotta think, can you stick your small human beings in a small space together? And will they both cohabitate without just absolutely driving you insane? And will they be able to entertain themselves enough? Because I think that's really important. Something about being in a small space like a van life or an RV life is they've really got to be kids that can entertain themselves a little bit. And I know that my kids have struggled with that they really want my constant input, and they really aren't the best self-starters for entertaining themselves. So that's something to consider. This, I feel like the biggest decision on whether to van life it as a family is the kids. And I know a lot of times I recommend, bringing your kids along on your adventure in life. That's what I've always said in my travel vlogs. But if you're really looking for a lifestyle change, something you're going to do for a year, 2 years, 5 years on the road, you really have to think, is it something that fits the personalities of your children? It might fit your personality perfectly. But if it's not going to fit the personalities of your children, it's going to be really hard to do and not get super stressed over. And another thing to think about is, if you're really going to do van life, what time of year do you want to start? Do you really want to be full-time van life? Or is this something where you want to go off and you want to do a month or 3 months of adventures and you want to come back and have a home base? Because that's really going to change like what you need to prioritize in your van life and how readily I would suggest just jumping into it. If it's going to be something temporary and you have the means to, like, that's a totally different shebang. But if you're really thinking about like going for it, you've got to give thought to what are you going to do different times of the year, right? I'm assuming you're American. Most of my audience is American. But those of you in Europe, you know, are you gonna want to be van lifing with kids when it's cold? How are you gonna deal with shower times with cold kids? You know, like going to the camp showers and walking back out if it's snowy. You know, are you comfortable driving in ice? Do you want to then go to different places that are warmer? Like, how much driving is that going to involve? So you really have to think about the logistics and the times of year that you're going to be van lifing, especially if you're doing it full time. And it's something that I feel like it's so easy to jump into on the road life with an adventurous spirit and just be like, oh, this is going to be great. It's going to be so much fun. And then kind of realizing these logistics that you wish you'd thought about beforehand. And so many of the videos and vloggers that I follow with van life, I love it. It's so much fun, but I don't think it really is a highlights reel, and it's not like a reality reel. And so that's why I've been testing out this year, is because I just saw a ton of highlight reels on internet when I tried to research this, and there was nothing that was like giving me solid footing to answer questions of like, oh, what's this really like? What's this really like? So can you survive van life with kids? Yes. Yes, you can. You can even thrive. You can have a great time with it. It can be an amazing experience, but you've got to plan it through and really think about it. And I feel like that's so dependent on kids. And not in like, we have to spoil our children and do exactly what they say, but just more like, is it going to be something that meshes with your family style at the end of the day, you know? Van life is a lot of fun, but is it what you actually want to be doing with your whole family? Or is it more like mom's going to drive to the grocery store, I'll see you in a week, I'll just be camping. You know, there's a difference. Okay, biscuits, I will see you in the next video. I hope this was helpful when you're deciding van lifing, if you're looking at digital nomad and you're kind of just considering things, weighing the pros and cons, like, what will work best. I will see you over on my burlesque Patreon, because oh my goodness, is this month fun over there. Love that page. And I will see you over on Instagram while I film ridiculous holiday reels, because life is short and one should be a little silly. I'll see you around, biscuits.